What would you wish for if you could have any one wish in this entire world? Hey, have you ever read a book that was pretty good and you just wanted to tell someone about it? This is where I'm at right now. So this book is called Success is Just One Wish Away. I was at an event and the guy was on stage about a year ago and he said, this is a book that changed his life. And he said it's an old book, it's out of print, not sure if you can get it anymore, but he said everyone should read it. So I immediately pulled out my phone, started flipping around, scanning the internet, found a copy, was able to buy it. Got it. And I understand what he's talking about now. So success is just one wish away. An interesting book. I'm going to read from the back cover real quick, a little bit about the book, because I think they've done a better job of explaining it than I could. It says, discover the one wish success secret used by John Spoelstra to motivate, inspire, and build self-confidence. Learn how you can use this fascinating book to inspire yourself to reach your dreams you had no idea you could reach. Learn how personal oil changes, lube jobs, and tune-ups can motivate even your most unmotivated employees. Learn how to bring joy into whatever you do through the unique concept of EWE. And then they've got some praise for the book in here. And what was interesting to me was this book is done in story form, which I enjoy any book that is written in story form but is teaching all the principles throughout. I think anyone who can do that is an amazing author. I take my hat off to you. But one of the things, this book immediately begins with the guy who runs across a genie, and the genie immediately is discounting and kind of putting the guy off, and the guy's like, whatever, this can't be real, this has to be fake or something. But as he goes along, he gets down to where he gets one wish, and he gets just one opportunity to change his life. What would you wish for if you could have any one wish? So in here, he has to decide what's the one wish he wants. Does he want success? Does he want wealth? Does he want a car? Does he want fame? Does he want a better relationship? What's that one thing that he wants? And he has to go through this journey of self-discovery. And in that journey of self-discovery, while he's going through that, each one of us, as we read this, have an opportunity to go on that same journey of self-discovery. So what is that one thing that you really want? That's an interesting question. A few years ago, when I had hired a business coach, that was one of the first things he asked me. He said, we're here for business and we're going to talk about business, but what do you want, Jason? What do you want? Not just business. What is it? In this world, you're going to be alive for a little while. What is it you want to accomplish? And he had me start to really think about that and dive into it and try and figure out that what it was that would mean success for me in all aspects of life, not just in business, but all aspects of life. And when I stopped and took that step back, it was a transformative moment to help me recognize maybe all the things I'm chasing aren't leading me to what I actually view as success. Maybe a bunch of those things I'm chasing aren't that great. And this business coach, he'd done that over and over and over. And it's one of the concepts in this book, which I think is one of the reasons it's so transformative. But he said that he's had people literally sell their entire business and move in a whole new direction after they evaluated that question. So that's something to think about. What is it that success actually means to you? Another concept that I love from this book, and I'm not going to spoil it all because I think if you can find a copy, you should probably buy it, read it, study it, and implement some of what it teaches because there's so many good nuggets in here. Another one, though, is in here, he thinks he wants one thing and he starts chasing it and he gets the opportunity to see what his life would be like if he got his wish. Now, for anybody who's seen It's a Wonderful Life, it's kind of a similar feel to that, where in that case, he wished he was never born. And then he gets to see what happens to the world when he wasn't born. This is the same kind of concept, except for he wished for something different. And I'm not going to spoil what it was or what the results and all that, but think about that for a moment and think about what would the ramifications be if you got your wish? What would that look like? What would it look like for you, for the other people you know, for the people you do business with? What would that wish be? What would it do? And how would it affect things? And then once you've evaluated some of that, go back and reconsider, is that the wish I want? Is that the vision I have? Is that the goal that I have? And there's so much more you can get from the book. But I want to share one more idea. And that idea is, if you know what you want, start moving towards it. There's so many people I know who they'll be like, oh man, yeah, I have this great idea. And then so and so went and they did it. And how many of us have had an amazing idea? We didn't implement it. Someone else did. They're rich, they're famous, they're successful. We're not. Over and over, I've had people tell me that throughout life. And I've done the same thing. When I was a little kid, I remember I was mowing lawns. I was like, man, if I could figure out how to get a dog collar that would put a signal to the dog door so that it only opened and unlocked when the dog was within a certain parameter, then you could keep anyone else's dog from getting in. And I sat and I thought about that and I studied and I thought about radio frequency and how I could make all that happen, but I never took the action. That's a lost opportunity. There's people out there making money selling my idea. I had an idea. I could have taken the action. I didn't. And I left it and someone else took it. That happens to all of us. I'm sure it's happened to you. But the great thing is, from this moment forward, no matter what that is, no matter what your vision is, your hope, your dream, your idea, you can start taking action towards it. And as you're taking action towards it, you're going to start moving towards those goals. And those visions have an opportunity to crystallize into part of your reality.